everybody, and welcome to another Nacho Tuesday. And today I have Hunter here with GPT-Trainer. And without further ado, we'd love if you can introduce your company and what you guys do over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Andy, for having me on the show. So GPT-Trainer is a cutting-edge AI agent platform that empowers businesses to automate support, qualify leads, and conduct document analysis. And out of the box, it contains a very intuitive chatbot training workflow that lets you create and deploy RAG-based multi-agent systems. And you can put it on your website, in your Slack, as a standalone link, or as part of a login protected library. Right? You could also attach it with your SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or Instagram. We also have built-in native integrations with popular CRMs like HubSpot and Zendesk. Now, the integration is not supported out of the box, then we also have a general purpose API, and that makes it super easy to connect with other business systems. We also have dedicated support within Zapier, Make, and N8N. Right, those are pretty popular nowadays. And one really cool thing that we're working on right now, Andy, is in a couple of weeks, we're going to be rolling out AI voice. And this will let you connect our AI agents to phone numbers that you purchase directly inside the platform. And you'll be able to conduct both inbound and outbound calls with this new feature. So that's going to make it open up a brand new dimension of possibilities within GPT-Trainer.
Very exciting. So that you said that's coming out in a couple weeks now?
That's right. That's right. Before the end of July, we'll have the first iteration. We're going to go with a phased rollout. Right. The first iteration probably going to have inbound support and maybe single number outbound call support. But we're going to try to evolve it into supporting number sets for outbound, so you don't get rate limited by the telecom agencies. Right. So you have like 10, 20 numbers which go in a rotation, and you make no more than 6 calls, outbound calls a day that way. So that way, we stay fully compliant while still implementing this automation for sales outreach and lead qualification, stuff like that.
Very cool. So what inspired you to go down this path and start GPT-Trainer? Tell us more about your background, and is this your first venture, or have you done more in the past?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't our first. To be honest, we've been around as an AI company. Back then, it's known as natural language processing. Right? Back then, there wasn't large language models. I'm talking about 7, 8 years ago, or at least it wasn't as prominent. When we first started, we were working on a template-based report generation engine. And obviously, you start with a template instead of like ChatGPT. You start from scratch, or a single prompt. Right? So, but when ChatGPT came out, we started integrating that technology right away. And we moved from being focused on academia and research back in the day to use cases in the commercial sector. And we were one of the first to develop production level retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, workflows. And back then we named it context aware generation, but I guess it didn't really catch on. But that was the first creation of GPT-Trainer. Right? And as the platform continued to evolve, we noticed that the level of complexity for setting up some advanced AI agents also became kind of difficult to manage through straight up no-code approach. And honestly, there's a lot of no-code platforms out there today that you can try out. Right? So we started moving towards a service-led business, and we offer managed hosting, custom implementation, and even AI literacy workshops for strategic partners looking to get the most out of this whole AI revolution. So we do both software and service.
Very nice. So what were kind of some of the gaps that you saw with the way that people are currently using Gen AI? And, I guess in a lot of ways it's too broad for a lot of people, but the more custom you can make it, the more tailored you can make it for your specific solution, the better, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the use case. And for mid-market to enterprise clients, one concern that always comes up is the data security, data safety, right? And for those guys, we provide dedicated hosting. right? Because a lot of the technology, basically all of the technology we use are in-house, except for large language models, because we don't develop LLMs directly. So we put our technology on a dedicated server, which we co-manage with the client for a fixed license fee, and that's something that the larger companies really like because they have ownership, right, over the data. They see exactly where it's going, and we can implement deep integrations with their existing business systems instead of having them rely on a public-facing API. So that's been pretty helpful. There's plenty of other advantages that I can talk about, but that's the main one.
Very nice. Any other specific examples of companies you guys have helped and what you did for them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're looking into example companies, the one I'm always happy to share is Ryden, right? Ryden.ai. They are a medical device regulatory compliance assessment company, and the typical workflow for a medical device company getting putting their product to market is that they of course have to build the product, test it, and have all the specs written down, and then apply for FDA approval. So this Ryden or other similar companies like Ryden are there to provide advice on how best to get that approval. Now, conventionally, you have domain experts and consultants reviewing these documents and assess them against the regulatory standards, the laws, so as to say. Ryden is taking a creative approach. They're the first company to build an AI-powered assessment system, right, that takes documents from these medical device companies and evaluates using AI whether they conform to these laws and identify gaps along the way. So medical device companies can get really fast feedback and iterate to make sure they're positioned well for FDA approval. We came in to build their entire AI module. In fact, you don't see it in the app because it's fully white labeled, but GPT-Trainer is actually serving as the backend. Our technology runs the entire AI module, so we're essentially their core tech. And the advantage there is we're experts in this technology. So over time, as new models came out, as LLMs became more powerful and additional capabilities become requested, we continue to improve without them having to maintain a team of AI experts in-house, right, to monitor the market and build things out as we go. So they're saving a lot of money and greatly accelerating the whole product development timeline or life cycle. So that's something really cool we did. I can give you other examples if you're interested.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about like other organizations that you think might be listening today that might be able to find value out of this. Yeah, it sounds like Gen AI isn't for everybody. Sometimes people need really custom solutions, and it depends on a case by case basis. Gen AI can't be all things to all people. So that's really where you guys come in and really help people with defining like an exact solution that could really help their business and product.
Absolutely. I mean, the use case with Ryden that I mentioned earlier, this is a very domain specific and a very a niche use case, if you will. Out of the box, GPT-Trainer most frequently serve organizations looking to automate support. Right, this is one of the biggest use cases of Gen AI after it came out. So support automation, you can put together a chatbot on your website, train on your own data within 10 minutes of coming onto the platform. That's extremely simple, works out of the box, and this is what a lot of our current clients use. If you need to pull data from your database to personalize the interaction so the AI knows who it's talking with, that's entirely possible, right? We have built-in webhooks, we have function calling, we have a lot of these automations that it's ready to go. You just have to configure it. And again, it's not going to take weeks to develop and deploy, but days at best. So this is something we also help out.
It's every business person's dream, under budget and on time.
Yeah, definitely. We've never had really a project that extended beyond the initial estimated timeline, and it's really thanks to our very powerful proprietary platform here at GPT-Trainer.
Very cool. So you guys really make it possible for even non-technical teams to be able to deploy this type of technology. Can you maybe go over what that process looks like for a team to, from start to finish, to get this technology onboarded onto their platform?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a small business or even a medium one, and you don't have any in-house AI expertise, then GPT-Trainer has a no-code builder, right? It's so simple that you technically don't even need to drag and drop. I know if you've seen those drag and drop flowchart based builders, right? GPT-Trainer is all natural language and UI click-throughs. You don't even need to configure workflows. Agent instructions are given in English or whatever language you prefer, and it takes less than 10 minutes to build a simple chatbot. Now, for more advanced workflow automations, you'll probably need some technical assistance. So we can provide tools and on-demand access to external data, or even MCP server integration, and you can set up webhooks to trigger events, automate data through Make.com, Zapier, N8N, right? And you can also connect to and manipulate the agents directly through our API. Now, our team can help with anything technical. Right? So I mentioned earlier, we're a service-based company, which means we actually have a forward deployed engineering team. So if customizations are needed, or if you need a custom prompt build, if you need data processing, data cleanup before you train, you upload it as training, we can assist with it. Of course, on a commission basis, but generally our price point is a lot cheaper compared to some bigger shops like Accenture or Deloitte, etc. But we're definitely professionals and we can help.
Yep. I guess what's the most complex situation that you've come across in terms of a client and their problem that they needed your help with? It sounds like maybe the medical company was kind of a good use case there.
Yeah. So a lot of people come to us. They're on the small to medium side, and they might not be looking to invest in a full-fledged SaaS app that's hosted on the cloud in a private server, right? That's a full build out. We'll take it on, of course, but more frequently, people are looking for workflow automations. Right? Instead of hiring a new resource, can we make the existing team more productive? Can we automate using AI some of the operations that we go through every day? And that's where custom build outs in Make, in Zapier, and would come in. So GPT-Trainer has native integrations or modules within these platforms. So you can actually start a workflow within, say, Make.com, and then add a module, search for GPT-Trainer, and it'll show up. It's extremely intuitive to use. You can either build it yourself or have us build things out for you. And we're pretty familiar with all three of these platforms. So if need be, we can use them to connect to your systems, or if you don't have any, then we'll build out an entire workflow. It's a lot cheaper and faster than developing an entire SaaS from scratch. So that's something we can do.
Very nice. I guess what are some of the biggest barriers for SMBs and smaller teams that are trying to bring in AI into the organization, and how does GPT-Trainer address them? It sounds like you guys have that white glove service to kind of help them integrate. You have kind of a no-code approach, make it very easy for them to actually integrate. And you start with like very simple applications, of course, too. Anything else you'd like to address there for SMBs that might be on the fence about adopting AI?
So I would say GPT-Trainer is designed to be extremely versatile, right? So the versatility means there's a lot of use cases that I haven't covered here that people are already using. So if you're looking to do lead generation, lead qualification, marketing content production, all of these things can be done within GPT-Trainer. And if you connect to Make.com, Zapier, and you could even do automated email alerts, or even run a campaign to do outbound hyper-personalized newsletter, for example. You can even write a new newsletter for every user in your list. You have separate profile information about each, right? So that's all extremely powerful that we can support. with the AI voice project nearing its rollout, I'd say it opens up a brand new dimension of what GPT-Trainer can do. And so the AI voice would enable use cases like just direct automation of inbound calls for support. And if necessary, we can do human escalation, right? Depending on certain triggers, intent-based monitoring, for triggers that says, I need to talk to a human agent, then the call can be forwarded to a human. For outbound, we have background agents that's constantly monitoring the transcript, which gets populated as the conversation goes on. We can extract data in real time from these transcripts, right? Even while the call's going on. And then depending on what data is extracted, we can forward it to a CRM and populate that directly. And then if you do real outbound, as I mentioned earlier, right, you can set up number lists, number sets that if you upload like 1,000 different phone numbers you want to call, then the number set that you use is going to essentially rotate the numbers for compliance purposes to reach out to each of those 1,000 users, right? So you essentially have an AI SDR that's much cheaper than having to hire a full-time resource for it, and it will sound no different from a real human.
Very cool. Any reservations that you've seen from business owners about adopting AI? Do a lot of people maybe, for instance, fear like some of the quality control issues with having AI on the front lines and not being able to control it?
Yeah, that's a perfectly valid concern, Andy. So I think there's still a stigma against AI interactions when it comes to customer support, when it comes to use cases where nowadays AI is rapidly popularizing. And it does come down to quality, right? So AI agents, while they're versatile, if you don't configure them right, they still, it's almost like hiring a new employee and you don't teach them how to do the job. Right? They're still going to struggle. AI is going to struggle. If you don't upload the right training data, AI is going to be inaccurate or just don't know how to answer the question. That's still going to happen. So the true remedy here, or the immediate remedy, is to work with experts within the AI domain that know truly what they're doing, and then tell them, be very clear with your requirements, and then come up with a proof of concept or baseline product that you can start using right away. And then the optimization flow, the iteration will happen on the go. So you could pilot a project to only 10% of the web traffic or 10% of your lead list, whatever you want to connect to, and then scale up as things become more stable and as you gain more confidence. So on the flip side to the resistance to using AI, you have companies that are already using. I mean, even Amazon. You go on Amazon.com and you're talking to Rufus, right, the AI assistant. The largest companies are already actively using AI agents for operational improvements, and it's pretty good. I've used it for refunds. I've used Rufus for refunds, right? I've used plenty of AI customer service, and they do a good job, in my opinion, because people spend time, engineers spend time, experts spend time optimizing that performance. Nothing's going to work the first time out of the box, right? So this is where we can help. We are the experts that you can trust, and we'll partner with you to build out, customize these solutions, iterate over time.
Yeah, I think you touched on a great point there about why generic large language models aren't really a good fit for every business. The more specific and custom you can get to your use case, the better. So the more like your AI chatbot can actually chat with your customers and understand more about them when it's talking with them, it's going to create a more personalized, natural feel to it, as opposed to somebody that might just use like a chat GPT plugin. And we all know how those go.
Yeah, for sure. Other advantages to using GPT-Trainer, which is LLM vendor agnostic, is that we have enterprise agreements that is in place to govern the data usage relationship. So whatever data we send through our platform to these language model providers won't be used for training or fine-tuning purposes. And that's a plus, because if you're using it for sensitive, needs within your company, or if you're using it, if you're exposing your sensitive data to the AI, you want to make sure that it's not being leaked, right? And so whatever data you use to train the model on GPT-Trainer is going to be safe. So there's actual legal basis to protect your data from being utilized by others for training.
Yep. Can you give an example of maybe where did you guys do any head-to-head comparisons between like maybe a generic AI model and some of your guys' chatbots? Like how's the performance differ there?
Yeah, I mean, it's less about performance here, Andy. It's just straight up 1 or 0. Can this use case be supported through like a ChatGPT, right? Versus a custom-made GPT-Trainer bot. I'll give you an example here. So we are partners with a few 911 dispatch centers. Right? Again, just hearing this name, you know for sure accuracy is paramount. Right?
Yeah.
You need accuracy here. One of these 911 dispatch centers is Saginaw County, Michigan. Dispatch team there used our platform to build several AI agents. Now, GPT-Trainer enables dispatchers to quickly query policies and procedures, emphasizing the idea that you don't need to know everything, just where to find the answer. Our platform effectively meets that need. So it's not possible at all with a generic AI assistant. It's just not trained on. You can't talk to ChatGPT and know anything specific about Saginaw County 911 dispatch operations. It's just not, information's not there. Right? It's 1 or 0. You have it or you don't. And the data that we use to train GPT-Trainer agents are dispatch center specific. So the executive director there actually said that they have seen significant benefits with dispatchers using the application to quickly access HR related information. It reduces time to information. Previously, that took several days. Seasoned dispatchers can benefit by retrieving procedures for high risk, low frequency events while they're on call. New dispatchers find value in identifying precise dispatch procedures that they might not yet recall. Usually, these dispatch centers have very high churn rate. It's just the nature of the business, right? A lot of burnout, low staff, high requirements but low staffing. So anything to do to make onboarding easier, to make dispatchers' life easier, it's going to help reduce churn. It's going to help the business, or I guess their center's operations in the long run. So that's what we're quite proud of.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't know what you don't know, and especially for AI, especially how's it going to help somebody? If the more personalized you can get, the better for each particular use case. I guess what kind of demand trends are you seeing for AI personalization across different industries?
I'm definitely seeing a lot of interest in AI voice and automating phone support. I remember seeing a statistic. I can't recall the exact number, but somewhere in 70-80% of ongoing support today is still done via phone calls, right? So it's web chat is nice, emails are nice, but at the end of the day, phone is still very dominant as a channel for support. So automating phone support or doing lead qualification over the phone, call scheduling, call booking over the phone. These are all very, very real applicable use cases. And it's true basically across all of the industries that we've interacted with, right? I mean, going on the previous example of 911 dispatch, even being able to identify non-emergencies from the huge volume of calls that comes through, right? It's big. I was told that talking with the New York City police department, they're getting 25,000 calls on average every day, and a significant portion are non-emergency. So, I mean, if an AI can kind of help filter that, you're getting resources to people that need it faster, right? Rather than having a human kind of process through wasting time. So,
people calling in saying, "Oh, my cat is missing" or something.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is. So,
and they're like, "That's not an emergency; it's an emergency to me."
There you go. I mean, that's exactly why, we're spending a lot of time developing AI voice. I said it'll come out in 3 to 4 weeks, but we've been building this for several months now. We're just starting the announcement because it's about to be ready, right? And it's the initial MVP is going to be capable of inbound handling, but we will probably expand it to outbound in another 2 weeks after that, with the ultimate vision of the system being able to do automatic follow-ups, calendar integrations, phone number rotations, etc. We're partnered with a company that's essentially a competitor of Folio called Whitehell.
Yep.
I know the CEO personally, so we share a good relationship and working together to build out this tech stack. And as a platform, we do support white label, and we fully intend for our agency partners currently white labeling our platform to eventually get access to these AI voice features as well.
Very interesting. So I guess where do you see custom model training heading in the next 1 to 2 years? Are we moving towards hyper specialized AI assistants for every business?
I don't think hyper specialized AI agents are going to be the big thing. And I think multimodal LLMs, or LLMs trained with text, voice, and image data at the same time, is going to be the holy grail. Now, this alongside with the popularization of MCP standards, it's going to give rise to much more powerful and versatile AI agents. So the advantage to having multimodal LLM is that you save the latency that you currently incur from using separate text-to-speech and speech-to-text modules. And so you're going to have real-time conversations that sound extremely natural and responsive, basically indistinguishable from you and I, Andy, like we're talking now.
Yeah.
And the way they have at the moment, right, it doesn't support RAG, and the cost is prohibitive. But I imagine that in a year, 2 years, 3, this is going to be much more widespread. For MCP, I mentioned earlier, MCP is abbreviation for Model Context Protocol, developed by Anthropic, right, the providers of the Claude LLM series. It allows developers to connect language models to external databases and tools in a very standard way. So it'll greatly accelerate the development of custom AI agents that integrate with multiple third-party apps and services. So these two techs in combination, I think, are going to create very fast, very smart, and versatile AI agents in the coming days.
Very cool. What do you think about how is that going to affect customers and their expectations for AI-powered interactions? I mean, now people can kind of tell, but it sounds like it's going in a direction where people won't even be able to tell the difference between a human and a robot.
Yeah, I mean, there's still definitely a heavy stigma where people don't like interacting with AI. It might be a generational thing.
Yeah.
But as models become more powerful, the gap between human-led service versus AI ones is going to get smaller. And not to mention that as industries, as countries, or their whole industries turn to be more service-led, then you're going to have people costs, right, labor costs going up, and that's going to make AI much more appealing. Not to say that AI is going to replace people per se, but going to make people much more productive in the long run, right?
Yep.
So on the flip side, the AI's advantage here is there's 24/7 on-demand availability, and this is something that you simply cannot have, at least affordably, right, for human powered teams. And it might even raise the bar for what customer service should be, right, as this becomes more widespread.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, every business, large and small, is going to have AI agents as part of their core IT framework, right?
Yep. What do you think in terms of like job displacement, in 5 years from now? How do you think jobs are just going to reallocate, or do you see like potentially like higher unemployment rates?
No, I think, I mean, I agree with the popular saying that, look, AI is not going to replace people. AI is going to replace the people that don't know how to work with AI. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about the time when the dot-com boom, right? When personal or home computers became popular. right? Back then, we're talking about like Windows 95, right, with the Office suite, right?
Yeah.
That's the enterprise standard. It was replacing much older, much more legacy technology. Um, and did it, replace some people? Well, I'd say the people that weren't learning how to use these new productivity tools, yes, they did get replaced. But the ones that became more competent with these tools, became more efficient, their value increased, right? If you know how to use productivity tools, then you're actually more in demand in the market. So yes, there's going to be a shift in distribution, right? And
Yeah.
it's going to change the structure of the economy, but is it going to replace entire sectors? No way. That's definitely not going to happen. So just as every technological revolution that came before, AI is no different. I think all you have to do to protect yourself is learn AI.
Yep. Smart words from a guy from MIT. So for everybody listening out there, definitely learn these AI tools. You should definitely check out custom GPT, or you should check out GPT-Trainer as well for custom GPT models. And where can they learn more about your company, Hunter?
You can go on to our website at gpt-trainer.com. Again, it's gpt-trainer.com. And you can sign up for an account there for free. It's free to use, to try out. We also have a free account plan, right? And if you're looking for something a little more advanced, if you need to see a demo, book a call. We'll be there to guide you through.
Yep. And these guys can definitely come up with really custom solutions for you guys. If you don't know what to do with AI yet, their team could they have that service side of the business as well that I want to highlight. They could help you kind of come up with the idea and formulate it and help with the implementation of it too. So that's one thing that I was really attracted to with what you guys offer.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, right? AI voice is just around the corner. So definitely make an account and stay tuned. Even if you aren't a big fan of text-based widgets, text-based bots, AI voice is gonna blow your mind. This is gonna be a very significant, perhaps the biggest upgrade we will have, or we've had since the rollout of the product, right? And it's coming in 3 weeks. So
Very exciting stuff. All right, Hunter. Well, everybody that was listening today, gpt-trainer.com, or you can pick it up today in the NachoNacho B2B SaaS and AI marketplace. Yeah, we look forward to doing more with your business. We love the product that you guys and the service that you're working on. And thank you for coming on today, Hunter.
Thank you, Andy, for hosting me.
Thank you.